Barakim Habarim, welcome to Messianic Moment Ministry. I'm Stephen Bruck. You know who you are. Today's the 19th day of March, 2026. And I'm the first one to say that taking a verse or a passage from the Bible out of context is just asking for misinterpretation. But I think that when we look at Isaiah 5:20, that's an exception to the rule. And we'll get to that in just a second. But first, admin stuff. Okay, so you know what I'm going to say, right? So please subscribe to the channel. Go to that little red box, hit there, go back to messianicmoment.com, the website ministry, and subscribe there as well. There are different lists. Comment, that really helps me get out there. Also, subscribe, comment, hit the little notification thing, the bell. You know how to do all that stuff. Next time you're on Facebook, like we're ever off, instead of buying something from China, how about going to my page on Facebook, give it a like, join my group. It's called Just God's Word. And you can also put Stephen R. Bruck in the search field, and you'll see the 5 books that I've written. Because if you like what you get here, you're going to love the books. You can get them either through Amazon, like I said, or at the website, messianicmoment.com. There are links to the books there. And finally, one thing that's really most important is share these messages, please, with everyone you know. Help this ministry continue to grow. All right, so the chapter in Isaiah we're talking about, chapter 5, begins pretty much with the warning to the people how they were given everything one could ask for from God. But instead of worshiping him properly, they rebelled against him. And so, as the result of their rejection, he's going to take away from them what they've been given. That's the first part of the chapter begins that way. Then around verses 11 to 23, he's warning against those who are doing the wrong things, about those who, woe to those who drink too much, who have misused property boundaries, and basically in general have rejected God's laws in how they react and interact with others. From verse 23 to the end, basically he says, this is how I'm going to punish you. So the entire chapter is about how, having been given so many good things, by rejecting the way God said to live, they're going to end up having all that good stuff taken away from them and going to somebody else. Today, throughout the world, we see one of these warnings being exemplified by not just our political parties, but as the mass media as well. I'm speaking about Isaiah 5:20, and that says, and this is from the Complete Jewish Bible, woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who change darkness into light and light into darkness, who change bitter into sweet and sweet into bitter. The rise of anti-Semitism throughout the world, and especially even here in America. Did you know that it was Jewish money that paid the troops during the Revolutionary War? I mean, without that, today we'd all be driving on the wrong side of the street. This country, America, owes so much to us Jews. Yet today there's rampant anti-Semitism. And the media is behind this because they're calling what Israel is doing to protect itself bad. And what Hamas and the other terrorist organizations are doing as good, just like Isaiah said they would. That's exactly the warning Isaiah gave. People in America are protesting against the military action in Iran. It's not a war. No, there's no war without a declaration of war. It's something that the Christians in Iran are ecstatic about. After all, it was our CIA being asked by Great Britain who removed the democratically elected prime minister back in the 1950s and installed the Shah, which ended up being pretty bad for the Iranians. Now we're freeing them from the same sort of despotic rule that the person we had placed in charge initiated. There are even American colleges supporting terrorists attacking innocent civilians, claiming that Israel's being genocidal, while the truth is, it's the terrorists who have only one goal: to totally destroy all Jews in Israel. I mean, these cowardly monsters, they murder, rape, and then they mutilate the dead bodies and drag them through the streets, while the Gazans are all cheering. And Israel isn't their goal. The world is. These terrorists live to kill, and they are only starting with the Jews in Israel. Their influence is seen all over the world with the rampant rise of anti-Semitism. And once all the Jews are gone, believe me, they're going to turn against the Christians next. What do you think "from the river to the sea" means? No, it doesn't mean freedom for those alleged Palestinian people, a reference to people who never existed. It was all a propaganda program initiated by Yasser Arafat back in the 1970s. It's not about Palestinian people living free in Israel. It means to totally destroy all Jews from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea. That's what it means. These Arab nations do not want the land. They had access to it for centuries before 1948 and never once built any permanent cities or businesses. The ones that were asked to leave when Israel became a state, they were nomads. The media and politicians accusing Israel of genocide have it totally backwards. It's Hamas and Hezbollah and ISIS and all those others. They're the ones who want genocide. Meanwhile, the Israeli IDF has warned civilians of coming attacks against these terrorists. They've sent food and medical supplies, which the terrorists have intercepted and not given to their own people. And they've tried to be as careful as possible when attacking because the terrorists hide under hospitals and next to schools, demonstrating clearly they have absolutely no concern for their own people. They don't care about Jewish life. They don't care about their own lives. So what does the mass media do? They support the terrorists, attacking in the newspapers Israel and anyone supporting Israel with twisted news reports and out-and-out lies. Isaiah warned against those who call evil good and good evil. And that's exactly what we're seeing in the world today. Yes, even here in America, the land of the free. Land of the free and the home of the brave. You know what it is? Now it's the country of the ignorant, the land of the sheep, and the home of the misled. What did Shaul, that's Paul, what did Paul call Satan? Didn't he call him the prince of the power of the air in Ephesians 2:2? And how does the news travel throughout the world? Isn't it through the air? See my point? We are being led down the path to destruction by the media and the political leadership of the world, which is centered and it originates right in the United Nations, which I believe should be retitled United Nations Against Israel. After all, that's clearly what their desired goal is. So, what is all this rambling about? After all, I've stated that this ministry is not for political discussion, but I'm not really talking about politics. I'm talking about the political leadership leading us into damnation, helped along by the media. Isaiah also states in this chapter in verse 13 that the people are being destroyed because of their lack of knowledge, which Hosea reaffirms in his warnings as well. That's Hosea 4:6, which if you go to the homepage on messianicmoment.com is the tagline right at the bottom of my homepage. So I'm saying all of this is a warning to you, to ask that you please do not automatically believe anything you hear about anyone or any country from any source without thoroughly confirming it with multiple searches throughout the internet. It's the best place to go now, unfortunately. But you're going to have to go probably 2 or 3 pages of hits, maybe 4 pages through hits, before you find some website you can trust, or at least it gives what appears to be a fair report. And this is especially true of anything you hear from someone or anyone, yeah, even me, regarding the Bible. You certainly do not want to be one of those destroyed because of your lack of knowledge. Well, thank you for being here. Please comment and share these messages with everyone you know, even non-believers. Hey, after all, you never know how fertile the soil is until you plant a seed in it. All right, that's it for this week. So, throat, and let me wish you an early Shabbat Shalom.